Welcome again. Last time we saw basics of mechanisms, where we have seen what is the meaning of a mechanism and what are the various terms that are involved with a mechanism. What is a kinematic link, what is a kinematic pair, and so many other things we have learned at that time. Now we will go one step further and try to find out how are we going to manage with the velocities of different links. So velocity analysis is what we are now going to move forward further. So in that, let us see velocities in mechanisms, that is the topic. Velocities in mechanisms. Now what it means is, in a mechanism, say for example in a 4-bar mechanism, there are 4 links and you can think of many points which are there on the link which you want to know their velocities for certain function of the mechanism. So how to find out the velocities of all the various points, that is precisely what we are going to learn in this particular topic. Now this is done by 2 methods. There are 2 methods involved here. One is relative velocity method. Relative velocity method, and the second is instantaneous center method. Relative velocity method and instantaneous center method. These are the 2 methods which we are going to use, which we are going to learn for the purpose of finding out the velocities of different points on the mechanisms. Now each of these topics is quite extensive in nature, so that means in next several lectures we are going to talk about this method and learn how to use this method by studying different types of mechanisms. Then we will go to the second topic, and again we will have lot of exercises, lot of problems we will be solving in order to understand the second method. Now we start with the first method, the relative velocity method. It is also called as velocity polygon method. Velocity polygon method is another name. Now what we see here is the velocities which we are finding out. Just before we go further, just take one example, simple example. Let's say there is one person here, and this person is moving in this direction by certain velocity. Say the velocity of this person is A. Okay, is the velocity A meters per second. That is the velocity of this person, A meters per second. Okay, I'll call this name of this person as A. So velocity of A is this. I'll just make the different name, x meters per second. Velocity of A is x meters per second in this direction. Now when you say in this direction, this velocity, that you are going to say with respect to something. You cannot just say velocity is like this, because with respect to something only it is possible to measure. In this case, we are measuring the velocity with respect to the floor on which he is standing, which is stationary. So when the floor is stationary, this is going to be the velocity of this person A with respect to whom? With respect to floor. So let us call this point B, which is a point on the floor, which is having velocity 0. What is the velocity of B? Velocity of B is 0, because it is the road. You can see it's the road, and the road is stationary, therefore velocity of B is 0. So velocity of A is whatever is shown here. Okay. Now we can also say that this velocity of A is with respect to B, it is x meters per second. That means with respect to B, the velocity is so much. Now just see one more example. This road, suppose this road is such that it is a conveyor belt. You know the meaning of conveyor belt? That means it is just like if you go to airport, there is a baggage counter where the baggages are moving along the belt. So think of something like this. Now in fact there are belts which have come on which people are standing and they are moving from one place to another. Even that is also there. So somehow think that this is not a road, but it is a belt which is capable of moving forward like this. So the belt will move forward like this. Okay, now what happens? The man is still walking with the velocity a equal to x meters per second, but in addition to that, this belt also has got a velocity which is not 0, but it is y meters per second. That means this point B or the entire belt is moving forward with certain velocity y meters per second. Now for a observer here, suppose I am still standing here, because now the fixed reference is here. This is moving. We are the person, I am the person who wants to see the velocity of A. So I am standing here. So for me, what is going to be the velocity of A now? That is the question. What is going to be the velocity of A for a person standing here? Now for that, you will say that now the velocity of A with respect to, say I am standing here, suppose my say place is M. So velocity of A with respect to M is equal to velocity of, now it will be velocity of B plus velocity of A with respect to B. So this will be still there, but in addition to that you have to add the velocity of B also, which is the velocity of B, which is this, which is with respect to me, so it is M. Now this M is now written like this. So velocity of A is equal to velocity of B plus velocity of A with respect to B. That becomes some kind of a, say you can say equation which is always required to be used. So velocity of any person, any object which is moving is equal to the velocity of a reference point, if it is there, plus the velocity of this with respect to the reference point. So having understood this, in this case it will become x plus y. This is already y and this is x. So that becomes the velocity of a person if somebody is observing from here, the velocity of this person. So this gets added there. Now this is exactly what is required to be understood by us, which is what we are going to apply when we are talking about the mechanisms. Now further thing to be understood is the concept of angular velocity. This is what we have learned here, is the concept of relative velocity, what it is. Now this is a relative velocity, the velocity of A relative to B it is, with respect to B it is. Now let's see what is happening for the angular velocity. Maybe you can note this down. Let us see the concept of angular velocity, which is shown by symbol omega, and its units is radians per second. See, this is not W, this is omega. Omega radians per second. That is the way in which angular velocity is measured. Now, what is the meaning of this angular velocity? That is what we will see. So, say for example, we will take one, say, object which is rotating. So, let's say this is one. We will take link itself. So there is one link, say like this. This link is pin joint, there is a pin joint here. So with respect to pin joint, it is capable of moving, and now it is performing a complete rotation. So like for example, the blade of a fan, you know the fan is rotating. So one blade of a fan, if you see, it is rotating about a center point. So something similar, there is a link like this, and this link is rotating with angular velocity omega radians per second. That means it is covering angle or angle something in certain time, and it is written like this: omega is angle upon time. Angle is measured in radians, time is measured in seconds. So radians per second, how much angle it is covering in a unit time, that is the meaning of angular velocity. And in this case, this angle, since it is measured in radians, accordingly we have to go ahead. Now you can take this situation similar to linear velocity. We know that what is the meaning of linear velocity? This is an object which is moving in this direction, and then we say that v, meters per second, that is the linear velocity of the object which is moving like this. Now what we are going to see is, first of all, if you want to know how this has come, we can even see that. See, take the example of a circle and a point is moving on a circle. Suppose there is a point P here and this point is moving like this on a circle of radius r. That means it is covering this much distance in certain amount of time. Suppose in time t it is covering this much distance. So what is the distance from here to here? The distance is 2 pi r. 2 pi r is the circumference of the circle. So it is covering this much distance in certain time t. In certain time t. And now you will see that this 2 pi and divide that by t becomes, what is 2 pi? 2 pi is the angle. You know that the angle, if you measure it from here to here, we call it as 360 degree, or it is also called as 2 pi radians. 360 degrees is same as 2 pi radians. So this point is rotating in such a way that it is covering an angular distance equal to 2 pi radians in time t, and it is at a distance r. Now what is this 2 pi upon t? This is nothing but the angular velocity, and r is the distance, and now this has become its linear velocity. That means suppose you make this straight line, suppose this perimeter you show like this, 2 pi r. You, instead of circular, you make it straight, and now you say that a point is moving from here to here. That means it is covering a distance 2 pi r in time t. So that becomes a case like a velocity. So v is 2 pi r upon t. Now out of that 2 pi upon t is omega. So it is omega upon r, omega into r. So therefore the formula has come, v is equal to omega into r, where v is in meters per second and this is in radians per second, and this is again in meters. So radians we are now using, so automatically it comes meters per second, meters per second. So v is equal to r omega. You have to remember this very well. So all these formulae are such that we are supposed to use them in future. So you have to remember them very well. V is equal to r omega. Omega is equal to theta upon t. Okay. So if you take some, say, different example, suppose there is a part like maybe this link itself, it is covering angle theta in time t. In time t, it is covering a distance equal to theta. That means this distance is s, which is equal to r into theta. This distance is r into theta, where theta is of course in radians. So just like this is a distance s, but in this case s is 2 pi r. So here s is this much, so it is r into the angle in radians. So same thing again. So its linear velocity will be, in this case the linear velocity will be, so if I show the linear velocity, I will have to show it like this. Maybe I'll show here. The same figure I'll draw again here, slightly larger, and say that this is the velocity v of this point in this direction, and this v is given by, of course this is perpendicular, this v is given by r into omega, where omega is angular velocity of this point. So r into omega is the linear velocity of this particular point. Now when you say this is v, it is of a certain point. Suppose I call this point as point A and call this point as point B. Then we say this is the velocity of B equal to r into omega. And we show it like this, velocity of B. This vector is showing velocity of B. The direction is perpendicular to the link and it is along the sense of angular velocity like this. If the angular velocity is this way, then the velocity of the point B will be in this direction, which is quite obvious. Now, how it is perpendicular to the line? Why it is perpendicular? The simple reason, if you take, say, one example, suppose I take one stone, and that stone I am tying to one rope, and then that rope I am going to rotate like this. So now what will happen? That stone will go on rotating like this in the form of a circular motion, and the distance of the stone from the hand is r, and then it is rotating, so that becomes something similar to this. So this is a stone which is rotating, the distance of the length of the thread is r, and angular velocity is omega. Now when this happens, suppose that stone is released from the thread while it is rotating, suppose it is released. So at this point, suppose the stone is released, then what will happen is that the stone will move in a direction which is perpendicular to the thread at that instant. So that time the velocity of the stone is this velocity, and it is given by distance into angular velocity. Then the unit will be meters per second, when this is meter and this is radians per second, which is already written somewhere here. Okay, so try to understand this concept, and also the concept of relative velocity which we have seen earlier. So when you say it is b, it means it is real velocity of b with respect to a, which is a fixed point, and then this becomes a correct equation how it is to be written. Velocity of b with respect to a is distance into angular velocity. Now the same formula is also written in a much better way, saying that velocity of b with respect to a is equal to length AB. Instead of calling it as A, instead of calling it as R, R is basically distance. So distance AB into angular velocity. Now when you say angular velocity, again there is some more information we are supposed to write here. Now angular velocity is like this, meaning what? What is the meaning of that? It means if the observer is here, then for the observer the point B is moving like this, in this direction. So angular velocity also, when you write, that is to be written in certain relation. So we write it is of B with respect to A. So angular velocity of point B with respect to A is like this. So it is written like this. Just a terminology, the method in which it is written is like this. So V is equal to velocity of B with respect to A is equal to distance AB and angular velocity of B with respect to A. So this becomes a more correct equation how we are going to write in future. So maybe this is one more format of the equation which we are supposed to know and remember very well, like this. Now having known this, whatever we have understood up to here, that means this is a diagram and this is an equation we have written corresponding to this diagram, we are going to write certain conclusion which we are going to use in future. So now write down below this, after you write this much, below this equation, write down conclusion or the summary of what we are discussing here. Number one, conclusion number one, velocity of a point on a link. Velocity of a point on a link, like this. Velocity is a point on a link. So velocity of a point on a link is equal to velocity of a known point on a link, velocity of a known point on a link. So we know A is also on a link and we know its velocity is 0. So it's equal to velocity of a known point on a link plus velocity of that point with respect to known point, plus velocity of that point with respect to known point. So what we have written already written like this. So velocity of B, I'll write where? Here. Velocity of B is equal to velocity of A plus velocity of B with respect to A, where velocity of B with respect to A is this. This is this. And in this case, this is 0. It may not be always 0, but in this case it is 0. So velocity of any point on a link is equal to velocity of some known point plus velocity of that point with respect to known point. So this is the conclusion what we have drawn by this. Now second conclusion. Second, number 2. Magnitude of velocity. Magnitude of velocity of a point on a link. Magnitude of velocity of a point on a link with respect to known point. Is equal to distance of that point from the known point distance of that point from the known point, that means this much, multiplied by angular velocity of that link. So we have written second conclusion that the magnitude of this velocity is found out by this formula. It is found out by this formula. Now the third conclusion, third summary, number 3. Direction of velocity of any point on a link. Direction of, now we are talking about the direction. Magnitude we have seen. Direction, in this case it is like this. Why like this? Why not like this? Why not there? Why not anywhere? So it is in particular direction. About that we are writing. So direction of a point on a link is perpendicular to line joining that point with respect to known point. That means perpendicular to this line, and along the direction of angular velocity. So because the angular velocity is like this, it is like this. If the angular velocity is this way, then it will be in this direction. So what we are writing is not something great, because we are already seeing it very, very simple to understand. We have already discussed this, which we are writing. So we have written now three rules or three conclusions. First conclusion is about the velocity, how it is related to some other point. So we have brought into picture other point also. Then we have written how the magnitude is calculated. This is how much? This much, which is r into omega. And the next thing is we have talked about the direction. Why like this? Why not like this? So that is in the third rule. It is perpendicular to the line joining the 2 points. So having done this much, now we become in a position to talk about how to find out the velocities of so many other points on the link, which we will see as the next point. So have a good note of these points. Okay, so now we will move slightly further and try to find out the velocities of some more points. So let me draw a typical 4-bar mechanism like this. This is link number 1, link number 2, link number 3, link number 4. So there are 4 links. They are connected to each other by pin joint, and they are numbered like this. Link number 1 is fixed, and this link